The tale of the creation of Frankenstein by Mary Shelley and the short story The Vampire by John William Polidori is semi-legendary. A writing contest which also featured Lord Byron and Percy Bysshe Shelley at a storm-hit Villa Diodati on Lake Geneva in 1816. Another literary meeting between two heavyweight writers 73 years later is perhaps less well known, but it too led to the generation of two classic novels. One was one of the most famous horror stories ever written, and the other was one of the best-known Sherlock Holmes mysteries. The two authors were, of course, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, creator of the deductive detective, and the Irish poet and playwright Oscar Wilde. The meeting was in London, where hidden history and intrigue is seemingly around every corner. It took place alongside the publisher of Lippincott's magazine at the Langham Hotel in central London's Portland Place in Regent Street. A small green plaque jointly sponsored by the Sherlock Holmes Society of London and the Oscar Wilde Society marks the occasion. It reveals that the meeting on the 30th of August 1889 led to Conan Doyle's The Sign of Four and Wilde's The Picture of Dorian Gray. Set in 1888, The Sign of Four is a complex roller coaster of a mystery that involves a blowpipe-shooting native of the Andaman Islands, stolen treasure, double-crossing and a secret pact between four convicts in colonial India. The novel also features Holmes's infamous drug habit and introduces Dr. Watson's future wife, Mary Morstan. The story also mentions the Langham Hotel, with Mary recounting that her father, Captain Morstan, had given the hotel as his London address on his return while on leave from his Indian regiment. Wilde's The Picture of Dorian Gray revolves around a portrait of the titular character painted by his associate Basil Hallward. The artist Hallward is obsessed with Gray's beauty, and through him, Gray meets Lord Henry Wotton and is soon enthralled by the aristocrat's rakish and hedonistic outlook. This attitude to life dictates that beauty and sensual fulfillment are the only things worth pursuing in life. With this in mind, Dorian Gray worries that his looks will fade, and so he expresses a desire to sell his soul in a Faustian bargain, so that the picture will age and decay rather than Gray himself. Gray gets his wish and pursues a selfish libertine lifestyle, while the painting ages horribly and records all of his sins. The only novel Wilde wrote, the story caused much controversy in his lifetime and eventually contributed to his criminalisation for his sexuality. It has since come to be regarded as a classic of Gothic literature. As well as being two of the most famous writers in history, the two men had another thing in common: their association with the mysterious occultist sect called the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. Conan Doyle is strongly suspected to have been a member of the strange group that also included notorious occultist Aleister Crowley. And Wilde's wife, Constance, was inducted into the sect after following an arcane initiation ritual. This involved her wearing a black tunic and red shoes, being blindfolded, and having a cord attached around her waist, while she knelt before the cult's high priest and swore an oath. The oath involved her swearing that she would face exclusion from the Society of All Upright and True Persons, and on pain of being paralysed without visible weapon, never to reveal the order's secrets. A year later, she left the secretive occultist organisation, having broken her vow by discussing details of its ceremony and magic with her husband. The information inspired the dark magic of Oscar's The Picture of Dorian Gray. But tragedy would strike for both in the ensuing years. Oscar became the most notorious and reviled man in the country. In 1895, when Oscar, at the very height of his career and public popularity, attempted to sue the Marquis of Queensberry for libelling him as a homosexual, he was exposed as just that and condemned. He was jailed with hard labour for 2 years from 1895 to 1897. As a result, Constance became a pariah and went into self-imposed exile on the continent, living in rented accommodation under aliases. She also suffered disability, becoming slowly paralysed in her arms and legs, and died at the age of 40. Oscar Wilde himself died of meningitis on the 30th of November 1900. He was just 46 years old. That's it for this video. Don't forget to like, share, and most importantly subscribe, and thank you for watching.